The golden rays of the African sunrise stretch across a sprawling savanna, painting the vast landscape in hues of gold, orange, and fiery red. The sun's warm light touches every corner, from the gently swaying acacia trees to the rolling plains covered in shimmering dew. The soft glow transforms the savanna into a living masterpiece, where shadows stretch long and the air hums with the energy of a new day. A chorus of chirping birds heralds the dawn, their melodies mingling with the gentle rustle of leaves, swayed by the cool morning breeze. Somewhere in the distance, the haunting call of a lone fish eagle pierces the stillness, a reminder of both the beauty and the wildness of this untamed world. At the heart of this awakening wilderness stands Kaya, a 3-year-old baby elephant, her presence a spark of youthful exuberance amidst the ancient rhythm of life. Her large floppy ears twitch with curiosity, each movement revealing her innocence and boundless energy. The light gray of her skin, crisscrossed with faint wrinkles, reflects the morning light like polished stone, while a tuft of unruly brown hair atop her head gives her a playful charm. Kaya's small trunk, not yet as deft as the older elephant's, wiggles and curls as she tentatively explores the scents carried on the wind. She takes a few unsteady steps, her large padded feet leaving faint impressions in the soft earth, her every movement a testament to her growing confidence and wonder at the world around her. Nearby, towering over Kaya and the rest of the herd, stands Naira, the matriarch. Her presence as steadfast as the ancient baobabs dotting the horizon. At 55 years old, she is the heart and soul of this family, her wisdom and strength woven into every step she takes. Her long, curved tusks gleam in the golden light, their smooth surface etched with the marks of countless encounters. Scratches from battles fought and possible wake marks. Her weathered skin, tough as bark yet softened by time, bears the stories of droughts, migrations, and the relentless challenges of life in the wild. Her deep, knowing eyes sweep the horizon, missing nothing, her instincts honed by decades of survival. The herd grazes peacefully around them, the older elephants rhythmically tearing at tufts of grass with their trunks, while the younger ones playfully nudge and chase one another. A sense of calm envelops the group, a fleeting moment of harmony that feels almost sacred. But beneath this tranquil scene, the savanna whispers of an approaching storm. Not of rain and wind, but of something far more ominous. Little Kaya's playful demeanor falters as her sensitive trunk detects a faint, unfamiliar scent on the breeze. Her dark eyes widen, and she instinctively moves closer to Naira, seeking the protection of the matriarch. Naira, ever watchful, pauses her grazing. Her large ears fan out, swiveling to catch the slightest sound. Her imposing frame stiffens, signaling the shift to the rest of the herd. One by one they lift their heads, trunks raised to the sky, searching for confirmation of what their leader has sensed. The golden dawn, so full of promise, now feels laden with an invisible weight. The harmony of the savanna teeters on the brink, as a shadow of danger creeps closer. The predators of this land move with silent precision, their own survival hinging on the weakness of others. Whether the threat comes from a pride of lions hidden in the tall grass or from the distant rumble of poachers' vehicles, it is a reminder of the fragile balance that governs this wilderness. As the sun climbs higher, its golden rays the sun continues its climb, bathing the savanna in an unyielding light that starkly illuminates the sprawling grasslands. Serenity and chaos, what was serene and picturesque the eternal struggle for survival begins to unfold once more. The gentle hum of life for Kaya, the rustle this of day leaves, will bring lessons the chirping she has yet to understand, has dulled, replaced by an oppressive stillness, loss. Even the wind unyielding has strength of family with it a faint metallic tang of tension. From within the dense foliage, Sanjay watches with predatory intent. The poacher's rugged camouflage blends with the shadows, masking his presence as he crouches low, his tranquilizer gun steady in his hands. Beads of sweat trail down his temple, a mix of concentration and the midday heat. His dark eyes are sharp, calculating every movement of the herd with chilling precision. Each step they take, each sway of their massive bodies, brings them closer to the snare he has so meticulously set. His target is clear, the matriarch, Naira. Her long, graceful tusks curve like polished ivory, gleaming in the sunlight, a fortune in the eyes of those who see only their value as trophies. But Sanjay isn't reckless. He knows the herd's dynamic, the risks of scattering these massive creatures. His gaze darts briefly to Kaya, the smallest of the group. She is a distraction, adorable, curious, and full of life. For a moment he hesitates, a fleeting flicker of doubt crossing his mind, but it's gone as quickly as it came. Kaya, meanwhile, feels the unease in the air growing stronger. The faint, acrid scent of human sweat lingers, mingling with the disturbed earth and the faint tang of metal that stings her sensitive trunk. She stops again, her floppy ears twitching as if trying to catch whispers on the wind. Her small trunk waves nervously, probing the air for answers to the unfamiliar smells that prickle her instincts. Around her, the older elephants continue grazing, their massive bodies calm, their movements deliberate. Dilatates crawling out of holes and rotating toward the beetle. The wind shifts slightly, carrying with it a sound that freezes Kaya in place. A faint, distant gunshot. It's not close, but it's loud enough to send a shiver through her small frame. She lets out a short, sharp rumble, a plea for attention that reaches Naira. The matriarch's ears flare, her keen eyes narrowing as she turns her massive head toward Kaya. For a moment, the two lock eyes, an unspoken bond of trust passing between them. Naira lifts her trunk high, sniffing the air with practiced precision. She catches the faintest traces of something foreign, something wrong. Her body stiffens, and the calm authority she exudes shifts into a quiet readiness, a subtle signal to the rest of the herd. The older elephants pause, their massive heads rising, ears swiveling to catch sounds and scents. But the moment is brief, and the herd soon resumes their grazing, reassured by Naira's calm yet watchful demeanor. From his hiding place, Sanjay adjusts his position, the dry grass crunching faintly under his boots. He freezes, cursing silently at the slight noise. The tranquilizer gun remains steady in his grip, his finger hovering over the trigger. He knows the matriarch is growing suspicious, her heightened vigilance a complication he hadn't anticipated. But he's prepared. He's been here before, outsmarting animals larger and more experienced than him. Kaya, however, cannot shake her unease. The faint gunshot and the unsettling smells linger in her mind, refusing to fade. Her wide, searching eyes scan the horizon, seeking any sign of movement, any anomaly in the vast open expanse. She takes a hesitant step toward Naira, her small trunk reaching out to brush against the older elephant's leg. A silent plea for reassurance. Naira responds with a low, resonant rumble, a sound that radiates both comfort and warning. The savannah feels heavy, the tension palpable. Every step the herd takes seems to draw them deeper into danger. The distant gunshots were just the beginning. The real threat is here, hidden among the trees, its eyes locked on them. Kaya's instincts scream louder with each passing moment, but she is young, and her voice is small. Sanjay steadies his breathing, his sights locked on Naira. The poacher knows he has only one chance. The trap is set, the moment is near, and the balance of life and death teeters precariously. For the herd, unaware of how close they are to peril, the question hangs in the still air. Will they recognize the danger before it's too late? Or will the shadow that stalks them strike, shattering the fragile peace of the savannah forever? Chaos erupts as the serenity of the savannah is shattered in an instant. The poacher's trap is sprung with ruthless precision. A hidden snare tightens with a metallic snap, and the sharp crack of a tranquilizer dart pierces the air, its trajectory aimed at Naira. The sound sends an electric ripple through the herd, transforming their calm grazing into a frenzy of tramping and stomping. Dust rises as massive bodies shift in turn, confusion and fear spreading like wildfire. Naira rears back, her towering frame silhouetted against the harsh sunlight. Her trunk swings violently as she lets out a thunderous trumpet that echoes across the plains, a rallying call to her family. The older elephants form a protective circle around the younger ones, their tusks lowered defensively, while the calves cry out, huddling close to their mothers. But amidst the chaos, it is Kaya who acts first. The baby elephant, small yet determined, breaks free of the protective huddle. Her tiny frame trembles with fear, but her heart burns with resolve. She raises her trunk high and lets out a sharp, piercing trumpet that cuts through the confusion. The sound, though not as powerful as Naira's, carries an urgency and clarity that demands attention. Her gestures are frantic, yet purposeful. As she waves her trunk, her dark eyes wide with determination. She moves toward the herd, nudging and prodding the others in the direction of safety, her instincts overriding her youth and inexperience. For a brief moment, Naira hesitates, her deep, wise eyes locking onto Kaya. Astonishment flickers across her weathered features. This small calf, untested by the savannah's harsh lessons, has stepped into the role of protector. It is a moment of revelation, but it lasts only a heartbeat. With a resounding trumpet of her own, Naira takes the lead, rallying the herd into motion. Their massive bodies shift as one, moving away from the hidden snares and the relentless advance of their unseen foes. The poachers, however, are relentless. Sanjay's team bursts from their hiding places, their shouts mixing with the whine of engines as their vehicles roar to life. The trucks kick up plumes of dust, tires churning through the dry earth as they give chase. Sanjay leans out of the passenger window, his tranquilizer gun poised, his dark eyes fixed on Naira's retreating form. "Don't let them get away," he barks, his voice cold and sharp, cutting through the roar of the engines. The chase is relentless, a desperate race across the savannah. The herd thunders forward, their massive feet pounding the earth, but the vehicles close the distance, their mechanical speed outmatching the elephant's raw power. Dust clouds obscure the horizon, the once vast landscape now closing in as the herd's options dwindle. It is Kaya who notices the dense thicket ahead. The patch of twisted acacia trees and tangled underbrush is a place the herd usually avoids, its maze-like interior a haven for predators and dangerous terrain. But Kaya's young mind, untethered by fear of the unknown, sees it as an opportunity. She veers toward the thicket, her small form darting ahead, her sharp trumpeting urging the others to follow. Naira understands immediately. With a commanding call, she directs the herd after Kaya, her trust in the young calf unwavering. The elephants plunge into the dense foliage, their large bodies forcing a path through the tangled branches. The thicket slows their progress, but it also creates an obstacle for the poachers. Sanjay slams his fist against the dashboard as the vehicles come to a screeching halt at the edge of the dense vegetation. "They're heading into the trees," one of his team members shouts. Sanjay's jaw tightens. He knows the thicket is dangerous, a place where vehicles cannot follow, but he also knows the stakes. "On foot," he commands, grabbing his gun and leaping from the truck. Inside the thicket, the herd moves cautiously but quickly, the younger elephants following closely as the older ones clear a path. Kaya leads with unyielding determination, her small trunk guiding her through the labyrinth of branches and shadows. The sounds of the poachers' pursuit grow fainter, muffled by the dense vegetation. The chase hangs in a delicate balance. The herd's unity, Kaya's quick thinking, and the natural barriers of the thicket are their only defenses. But the poachers are determined, their footsteps drawing closer. Will Kaya's gamble pay off, or will the shadow of human greed once again mar the beauty of the savannah? The poachers crash deeper into the thicket, their desperation driving them forward, but the wild is no longer their ally. Branches lash at their faces, thorns snag their clothes, and the uneven ground betrays their every step. Their breathing grows ragged, each frantic movement exposing their growing fear. Sanjay presses on, his tranquilizer gun forgotten in the chaos as he scrambles to regain control of the situation. But the elephants are not running anymore. They are the masters of this terrain, and under Naira's command, the herd moves with calculated precision. Each step is deliberate, each position strategic, as they encircle the invaders in a living fortress of gray strength and ivory power. The once scattered herd is now a unified front, their massive bodies creating barriers where none existed, their tusks and trunks formidable weapons of the wild. Nyra charges again, her deafening trumpet, a battle cry that shakes the poachers to their core. Her tusks gleam in the fractured sunlight as she barrels forward, her every movement a declaration of dominance. The ground trembles beneath her, a warning that cannot be ignored. Sanjay stumbles back, his bravado crumbling under the sheer power of the matriarch's charge. He raises his hands instinctively, his voice cracking as he shouts to his team, "Fall back! Fall back!" But it is too late. The poachers are scattered, their plan unraveling as the elephants press their advantage. One of the men trips over a hidden root, falling hard onto the dusty ground. Another drops his gear as he flees, his path blocked by the towering form of a bull elephant, whose menacing stare sends him scrambling in the opposite direction. Kaya, still under Nyra's protective watch, steps forward with surprising boldness. Her small trunk waves emphatically, her movements mimicking those of her elders, as if she's been preparing for this moment her entire young life. She lets out another sharp trumpet, her voice carrying a fearless clarity that resonates through the chaos. It is a sound that stops the poachers in their tracks, their heads snapping toward the tiny figure standing defiantly in the shadow of giants. For Sanjay, it is the final blow. He looks at Kaya, at her defiant stance, and something inside him shifts. He sees not just an animal, but a being with spirit and courage far beyond its size. His hands tremble as he lets the tranquilizer gun fall to the ground, its weight meaningless now. He raises his hands higher, his voice subdued, almost pleading. "We're done," he says to the others. "We can't win this." The herd surges forward one last time, driving the poachers back to the edge of the thicket. The air is thick with dust and tension, but the message is clear. This is the elephant's domain, and they will not yield. Sanjay and his team retreat, their steps stumbling and hesitant, as if the very ground beneath them rejects their presence. Nyra halts, her massive form standing tall and resolute at the boundary of the thicket. Her eyes follow the retreating figures, her gaze unwavering until the last of the poachers disappear into the distance. She then lets out a low, rumbling growl, a sound that speaks of both warning and triumph. The herd gathers around her, their trunks reaching out to touch one another in silent solidarity. Kaya, now standing at the forefront, raises her trunk high. She lets out a triumphant trumpet, her small yet mighty voice echoing across the savannah. It is a sound of victory, of resilience, of life reclaiming its rightful place. The older elephants respond in kind, their deep rumbles and powerful cries blending into a symphony of defiance and unity. As the dust settles and the poachers vanish from sight, the savannah breathes again. The thicket, once a battleground, returns to its quiet, untamed state. The herd moves together, their bond stronger than ever, their steps steady and unbroken. Haya walks alongside Nyra, her small frame glowing with pride. The matriarch's wise eyes glance down at the young calf, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. The poachers may have sought to exploit the savannah, but they left with a lesson they will not soon forget. In the face of greed and violence, the wild stood its ground, and the elephants, majestic, intelligent, and fiercely united, emerged as the unyielding guardians of their home. As the poachers are driven away by the rangers, their vehicles disappearing into the vastness of the savannah, a profound stillness settles over the landscape. The air feels lighter, as if the land itself is exhaling after holding its breath. Birds, startled earlier by the chaos, return to their tree-top perches, their melodies tentatively resuming. The golden hues of the setting sun stretch across the plains, painting everything in a soft, warm glow. The herd gathers in a sunlit clearing, their bodies a protective circle around their youngest members. It is a moment of quiet solidarity, a time to regroup and reflect. Dust swirls gently in the air, catching the sunlight like tiny flecks of gold. The elephant's deep rumbles create a comforting rhythm, a language of reassurance shared among them. At the center of the gathering stands Kaya, The young elephant is no longer just the playful calf who chased butterflies and sniffed at unfamiliar scents. Her small form radiates an undeniable confidence, her wide eyes sparkling with both relief and pride. She shifts her weight from foot to foot, her energy still high from the adrenaline of the day. But there is also a calmness in her demeanor, a newfound understanding of her place within the herd. Naira steps forward, her imposing figure casting a long shadow in the fading light. The matriarch's wise eyes settle on Kaya, her expression one of deep pride and affection. She raises her trunk high and releases a trumpet that echoes far across the savannah. It is a triumphant sound, a celebration of their survival and a recognition of Kaya's courage. The rest of the herd joins in, their trumpets blending into a symphony of unity and strength. Kaya hesitates, then lifts her own small trunk and lets out a high-spirited trumpet. Though her voice is not as deep or powerful as the others, it cuts through the air with remarkable clarity. The herd responds with gentle rumbles, their trunks reaching out to touch Kaya in gestures of love and respect. For the first time, she feels not just like a member of the group, but an essential part of its story. The sun sinks lower, casting long shadows that stretch across the plains. The world seems to soften, the harshness of the earlier danger giving way to the quiet beauty of the savannah at dusk. The golden light kisses every blade of grass and every wrinkle on Naira's weathered skin, making the herd appear almost mythical in their strength and grace. Kaya steps closer to Naira, her small frame leaning into the matriarch's comforting presence. She looks out over the vast expanse of their home, her gaze fixed on the distant horizon, where the last rays of sunlight meet the earth. Her young mind is filled with wonder and determination. The savannah is immense, unpredictable, and often dangerous, but it is also beautiful, alive with possibilities, and she knows now that she has a role to play in protecting it. As the first stars pierce the darkening sky, the herd begins to move again, their steps slow and deliberate. They head toward a nearby watering hole, a place of safety and rest for the night. The calves huddle close to their mothers, their playful nudges and soft chirps a reminder that life, even in the wild, always finds a way to flourish. Kaya walks with her head held high, her small trunk swaying rhythmically with each step. Behind her, the savannah hums with life. The calls of nocturnal animals, the rustle of the wind through the tall grass, and the distant echo of their triumph. Her journey is just beginning, but today, she has proven that courage knows no size, and that even the youngest can carry the heart of a hero. As the herd disappears into the gentle embrace of the night, the savannah remains, a place of endless challenges and infinite resilience. Kaya pauses one last time, looking back at the fading light. Her gaze holds not just wonder, but also a promise. To face the unknown with bravery, to protect her family, and to cherish the wild world that is her home. And with that, she turns and follows Naira into the night, her spirit as boundless as the horizon.